Well, let's do it like this. Blink twice if you're on the upcoming Migos Culture 2 album.
I hope I'm on the records.
Here's my intro piece. What's going down? It's DJ Payne 1 for BeatStars.com. And I'd like to really thank G Koop for sitting down and doing this interview, because he's not the type of person he's not, I'll say this about him. He's not exactly the next Love and hip hop star.
No, it's cool, man. To be honest with you, you're right. I don't do a lot of stuff on the net. I'm a pretty private person. I'm generally kind of live in a bubble. But the truth is, man, you kind of always have looked out for me even before I even knew you. You were kind of like shouting me out on some of your stuff, and that's actually how I met you, because you were just like, oh, G Koop is an opportunity for you to clear samples and just get by certain hurdles and stuff. So I appreciate you for that, man. And I definitely wanted to return the favor.
Well, I appreciate that. And the last time I saw you in the Bay, it's been some time since then. You've gone platinum about 8 times. And you work with Jay-Z. What else am I missing?
Yeah, it's been some dope records, plaques, some deals, learning some new skills, trying to stay afloat in the game, trying to find the best business model and life model for me to live and feel good about being conscious every day,
So you're a music producer, a musician, a composer, a teacher, among other things, a multi-instrumentalist. But really what people are knowing you for as of late is replaying samples for some of the biggest hit records of the last 3 or 4 years.
That's only mildly true, because the hit records were actually, for the most part, not replays. They were original stuff that I wrote or co-wrote.
Yeah, and I want to get into all of that and really unpack what it is that you do, because it's such an interesting and lesser known part of the music production world. Let's start with sample replays, because that's something kind of accessible for the average producer. In what situation would a producer want a sample replayed? Any
situation where they don't have an unlimited budget or access to huge dollars, because that's kind of what it takes to clear records, or it can. Actually, I shouldn't even say that, because I imagine there's plenty of publishers and artists out there that if you can reach out to them and get them, you might even make a very fair, reasonable deal with them. But I know a lot of times when I'm brought in, it's because that wasn't possible.
Yeah, so let's break this down, because a lot of people don't understand how the sample clearance game works. I think that's one of the biggest points of confusion for producers, just period, especially nowadays when there are so many producers, and it seems like that information, just the misinformation spreads like wildfire. The process in clearing a sample, it's basically a 2-step process. What are those 2 steps?
I generally I do my part, and I'm not really I'm not like involved in every aspect of clearing samples. That's one thing that I would say, is that I want to clear up the fact that I don't clear samples. I'm a musician that if you understand how things work, you can bring me in and I'll help you to get around certain issues. So that being said, though, the 2 sides of using a sample, I guess, would be like the master side and the publishing side. The master side, the original recording that when you sample something, there's a recording and then there's an idea of the composition. So the recording is the master recording. The idea, like the notes, the order of the notes and what notes they are, that would be the composition. So by replaying a sample, if you still kept the composition the same, you're bypassing the master clearance only. Now, another reason why people clear sample, get replays done, is just to it might just be part of their creative process. Because let's say you want to start with a sample and replay it, but then you took the individual parts from it, the replay, and rearranged them and made something completely new out of it. Then you've got your own idea, your own composition. So that's getting you around the composition clear.
So here's a question. In a situation where you're straightforwardly replaying a sample, have you ever been able to own publishing for that song?
Certainly that is not common. It is unlikely for you to rightfully own it. Let's just say that. Now, the other thing is that if you didn't make any noise or earn any money or earn sufficient money off the track, it might just be not even worth who really does own it to come after you.